Hello and welcome. My name is Mike, and in today's video, I'll be going over how I completed the Blue Team Labs online challenge, The Planet's Prestige. Let's get started. So, the scenario for this challenge is that Konkan, a planet known as the heaven of the universe, has been having a bad year. A series of riots have taken place across the planet due to the frequent abduction of citizens, known as Kokanians, by a mysterious force. Canada's planetary president arranged a war room with the best brains and military leaders to work on a solution. After the meeting concluded, the president was informed his daughter had disappeared. Concanon agents spread across multiple planets were working day and night to locate her. 2 days later, and there's no update on the situation, no demand for ransom, not even a single clue regarding the whereabouts of the missing people. On the third day, a Konkan representative, an army major on Earth, received an email. So for this challenge, there are 6 questions that need to be answered for it to be considered successfully solved. They are, number 1, what is the email service used by the malicious actor? Number 2, what is the reply to email address? Number 3, what is the file type of the received attachment which helped to continue the investigation? Number 4, what is the name of the malicious actor? Number 5, what is the location of the attacker in this universe? And number 6, what is the probable CNC domain to control the attacker's autonomous bots? As you can see here, I've previously answered it, but this video is going to go into detail of how I actually got to those answers. Additionally, it looks like BTLO is recommending that we either use a email client or a text editor, or perhaps a combination of both, and they have provided the email file as a zip file. Now, I will be using a Kali Linux machine that's running on VirtualBox to solve this challenge. I have already taken the liberty of downloading that email file and have loaded it onto the Kali Linux machine here. So let's get started. First things first is I actually want to open up the email and see what the contents are or what the ransom note is. So I'm going to go open with Thunderbird, give it a couple seconds, and the email is now open. So the email was sent from an individual by the name of looks like of Bill Jobs at microapple.com. It was sent to the major with the email of themajononearth@gmail.com. There's a reply to email, and the subject is a hope to Kolkanda. The content is, hi, the major on Earth. The abducted Kokanians are with me, including the president's daughter. Don't worry, they are safe in a secret location. Send me 1 billion Kokanans in cash with a spaceship, and my autonomous bots will safely bring back your citizens. I've heard the Kokanians have the best brains in the universe. Solve the puzzle I sent as an attachment for the next steps. I'm approximately 12.8 light miles away from the sun, and my advice for the puzzle is don't trust your eyes. LOL. See you, Major, waiting for the cash. Now, apart from the message, it looks like there is one attachment. It's a puzzle to concan.pdf, and that's the only one that's visible here. So the first question that we wanted to solve is, what is the email service used by the malicious actor? Now, typically for this type of questions, I really like opening up this email not in an email client, but in a text editor, because the text editor is going to reveal some additional metadata of that actual email here. So what I want to do is I want to minimize this for now. And instead of opening up this email with Thunderbird, I want to open up with a text editor. As you can see here, there's some additional information that wasn't found on the email client, but it's going to be helpful for us to actually solve this. I'll solve a couple of these questions here. So the first question, and for that matter, what is the reply email address? We really are going to be looking for a section that provides additional information about who sent this or from where was this email sent from. And typically there's going to be a line here, in this case on line 28, that's called received. From here, we can see that this email was received from a local host, emkei.cz, along with an IP address here. Now, there's a number of ways that you can actually solve the first one of what is the email service here. You can run maybe an NS lookup. But in this case, I was actually curious about what this emkei.cz is and kind of what does that even mean, if there's any sort of real software out there, or is it a domain itself. So when I did a quick Google search, I found out that the emkei.cz is actually a fake mailer. It's a fake mailer that allows you to send fake email with attachments, encryption, it's HTML editor, advanced settings. So from the looks of it, and if I were to actually open this web app, we can see that you can actually send emails out from here. You could send attachments, you can encrypt them, you can send additional information here, and it's a fake online mailer. So it looks like based on this information here, it looks like that this attacker actually sent this email using this EMKEI application here. So there we go. So if we were just to actually copy out this section here, uh, oh, I just lost my, oh, sorry, I just lost my last. If we actually copy and paste this emkei.cz, we will answer the first question of what is the email service used by the malicious actor here. The second question, what is the reply to email address? Well, it's actually, we can do a control F, or we can actually look in the email client. Since we have this actually open, what I can do is if we were to do a control F and search for reply to, or just actually read through the actual email, we can see, for example, on line 44, there's a section called reply to, which provides an email address, negeja3921 at pasture.com. So if I was to actually copy and paste this, this will be our answer to the second question of what is the reply to email address. Additionally, what you can actually do is you don't have to use the text file. You can actually open up the email client, and typically you would see that there's a section called reply to here. Same exact input, but there's two ways of going about it here. So that answers our first two questions. The next question is now, what is the file type of the received attachment which helped to continue the investigation? So this is going to have to do with the attachment that was sent over. What I want to do is actually want to download it to the computer. Should be saved on the desktop. And let's see if we can open it up. If I were to try to open it up and see the contents, I actually get an error message saying unable to open document, file type zip archive, application/zip is not supported here. So right off the bat, it looks like there's an attachment, but it's actually not a PDF, right? Originally, if we were to look at it at face value, we would make the assumption that this is actually a PDF document, right? It says it right here, puzzle2concan.pdf. However, there was a clue left by the attacker that says, to solve the puzzle and to take a device that is don't trust your eyes. So, we are trusting our eyes in this case, and it's leading us to an error where we are thinking that this is actually a PDF, when in fact, we shouldn't be trusting it, and it's not a PDF, in fact. So now, in order to find the true file type, what I want to do is I actually want to open up my command line terminal. I'm in the desktop. And what I want to do is actually want to use the command line tune xif tool, which provides some additional metadata or information on items or documents or files. And what I want to do is I want to do puzzle to cocan.pdf, and it's going to provide some additional information here. The one that's really interesting and kind of is solving the answer to this question of what is the original file type is this file type and file type extension. So we can actually see here that this file, before it was being sent, was originally a zip file. And probably the attacker changed it to kind of confuse us or send us down a rabbit hole or to obscure the fact that this is actually not a PDF and instead it's a zip. And we also see it's application/zip here. So the answer to the question is, what is the file type of the received attachment which helped to continue investigation? It's actually a zip. Now we can test this out by actually, if we were to do a change, rename, not delete, rename, and change the extension from PDF to zip. And now if we were to actually extract this, and we're going to extract it to the desktop too, we were able to actually extract some additional files from this PDF. Opening up, it looks like it's a puzzle to Concana. It's a folder that contains a daughter's crown, a good job major, and money dot XLSX or Excel file. Now, next question is, what is the name of the malicious actor? So with these files, my gut feeling is that we can actually use these files to see who the original authors were. But to take a quick look at the actual contents, I'm going to open up this daughter's crown first, just to see what it is. It looks like it's a image of a crown. Nothing too helpful right off the bat. I'm going to open up this PDF document. Now this document says, Colganians are safe. The proof is in the file named daughter's crown. Location to send 1 billion Cocan DS is in money dot the Excel file. Okay, so that's interesting. So now there's an Excel file. Oh, oops, sorry. Sorry about that. Okay, so we'll go to sheet 1. It looks like there's some content here. It says whatever you have seen or read until now is fake. Our intentions was not for money. It is the beginning of war with Concanians. Okay, that's not good. Location, it's not easy to find this major. Find and come as soon as possible. I'm waiting. Okay, close this out. I want to save it. All right, so what I actually want to do is, next question is asking for what is the name of the malicious actor. So what we can actually do is we can actually use that same tool, the EXIF tool, to get this metadata of it and to see the actual authors of it. Now, the two documents that are probably going to contain the author are typically going to be like Word documents or Excel documents, in this case, money.xlsx, or potentially PDF documents here. So what I want to do is, if I were to first run, let's try that on the Excel file. If we were to do, let's actually locate to the file and let's clear it so we can start from scratch. Let's say I want to do exif tool, and let's say I want to do money.xlsx. It's going to provide it up. Let's see, file size, permissions type, required, bit flag, compressed size. Okay, so no author right off the bat. Let's try it on the PDF document to see if there's an author for the PDF. So exif tool, and let's, good job, major. So we can see it's a PDF file. And there's actually here, if we all look all the way in the bottom, we see this line author, Pestero, Negeja. Okay. So it looks like that the actual author of these documents, or potentially even the name of the entire malicious actor, is this Pestero individual here. So to answer the question, what is the name of the malicious actor? We did a EXIF tool on the PDF document, which contained the author, and we copy and paste this Pestero full name here, first and last name, and we got the name, and we got the flag completed here. So next question is, what is the location of the attacker in this universe here? So if we were to reference back on the PDF says that this actual information is going to be located in the money.xlsx file. I already did EXIF tool. There's nothing really helpful from this Excel file. So my gut feeling was that's actually residing on the file itself here. So if we're to open it up again, here, we see that there's this location component here. And it says it's not easy to find this major. Additionally, it's whatever you read have seen is fake till now is fake. Our intention was not for money. It's the beginning of war. Come find us ASAP. So going back to that hint of don't trust your eyes, my gut feeling was that this information is going to be somewhere found typically on these sheets. In this case, what I first did, and although it didn't provide the answer, what I did was I did a Control A and controlled all the copies of the contents because I wanted to capture actually everything in this document, and I want to open up a new text. And I wanted to copy and paste it here. Now, what this did is it confirmed that there wasn't anything hidden on this sheet one, here. It's still the same content. My gut feeling was that maybe there was some text that was maybe, let's say, hidden in a cell that's far away that I have to scroll through and find it. But by Control A, I selected everything. Or perhaps that it was potentially a, let's say, a white background with a white text color, so it looked like it was invisible. In this case, this text editor confirmed that apart from the content that we were seeing, there wasn't actually anything there here. Now, there was a second sheet. There's a sheet 3, which right off the bat sent some signals that typically if there should be a sheet 2, right? Sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. So it meant that there was some manipulation and potentially they deleted sheet 2. In this case, they left sheet 3. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to confirm the same thing by doing it instead on sheet 3. So when I went over, I did a Control A. So it looks initially blank. So I did a Control A, I did a Control C. And if I were to actually go back to this text editor and edit it in, there was an actual result. It looks like there was this code here that was hidden, but when I copy and pasted it, it's actually revealed. Another way that you could potentially do it is, let's say you wanted to do it, not copy and paste it. What you can do is you could select all the cells. You can change, let's say, the background color to something dark and then contrast it with a light. In this case, let's do it with blue. And right off the bat, we can see here that there's something found here on this, this text. This text was a white background, and it became visible once we changed it to a darker background. And it's the same exact code that we copy and pasted here. So it looks like we found some hidden additional information here. Now, based on my experience, this actually looks like a base 64 code, and that we can actually decrypt this code to see if there's a hidden message within it. And how I actually do that is actually like to utilize a online tool called CyberChef, which allows you to decrypt or decode certain information and kind of convert back and forth depending on what you want. So what I did is I copied this over, I pasted it into this input here, this base 64, and I could do it from base 64. And again, base 64 is notation for encoding arbitrary byte data using a restricted set of symbols that can be conveniently used by humans and processed by computers. And they give an example, which is kind of like what's very similar to what we actually are having within this hidden message here. So I drag this from base 64, and it should automatically decrypt our output. And the output actually reads the Martian colony beside interplanetary spaceport. So it looks like this was the location. It looks like this is the location that they want us to send the money here. So I copy and pasted that, and that was the answer to this answer. What is the location of the attacker in this universe here? Just a side note, what I also originally did is it wasn't a correct answer, but I was thinking that maybe potentially there's a real life planet that is 12.8 light minutes away from the sun, or light years away from the sun. So I tried to Google that to see if they're actually basing it on a real planet. I think the closest was Mars, 12.7. This was kind of in line with that, but unfortunately, Mars wasn't the correct answer. They actually wanted us to do this sort of the decryption of this, imaginary location. But that was my first attempt, or kind of my first pass through of thinking, okay, use this line 12.8 light minutes away to see if it's anything near the sun, actually near the sun. Anyways, so for the last question, what could be the probable CNC domain to control the attacker's autonomous bots? So what CNC actually stands for, it stands for Command and Control Server. And in cybersecurity, is basically a computer that's controlled by attacker, or a criminal for that matter. And it can be used to send commands to systems that are compromised by malware and receive stolen data from a targeted network. So it's basically how I view it. It's in this case, I would assume that this attacker would want to receive the information, not only send commands, but actually receive the information that gives them a step up. So we actually had the answer to this question once we did the metadata investigation on the actual email. So if I were to open it up here, this received from location. What immediately stood out to me is that this not received from, I'm sorry, this reply to section here, that there was this domain at pasture.com. And the reason why I figured that this was the answer is because it's a reply to. So what that means is that anyone who were to send information or email back to this, to this email address, they would actually be sent back to this negeja3921 at pasture.com, and not to billjobs at microapple.com, which may be sent that he probably wants the information coming in. He wants all the, any communications back and forth to be sent directly to this domain at Pasture, and it could be potentially used then to control bots, or kind of have it all centralized where they can receive the data and use that data to control the bots here. So my gut feeling, the probable assumption is that pasture.com was or is the CNC domain to control the attacker's autonomous bots here. Copy and pasting that, it actually was the correct answer for this question here. So with that, that actually was the last answer to our last question, which allowed us to complete this challenge of the planet's prestige. Pretty easy, pretty basic analysis, but helpful to actually kind of start going through metadata and trying to figure it out, as well as not trusting your eyes, that there's a lot of information that's hidden hidden in these documents, in this data. It's our job to kind of extract it. So it was very good practice here. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun completing and creating the content, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.